Is there a motion to waive the minutes of the previous meeting?
I'll make the motion, Case.
For a second?
Second.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 And then a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
For a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Frank, you're on the agenda. Might as well start ahead. Oh, Frank, you're muted. You're muted, Frank. There you go.
You know, I can't wait until we can meet together face to face because this stuff is just unbelievable. But anyway, so thank you and good morning, everybody. So both agenda items that I have today fall under the same category and the same project. So the first one is we are seeking a resolution to call a public hearing in connection with the proposed establishment of an extension to our sanitary district boundary. And that extension is because of what's called Project Orange, which is a e-commerce warehouse and distribution facility in the town of DeWitt. It's at the intersection of the Route 481 interchange in that community and Kirkville Road, if you're familiar with that area. Our current district boundary does not encompass this parcel. So we're seeking this resolution ultimately to approve the district extension, but we're going through the public hearing process first. And we did hold the commissioner's hearing on this, as the example resolution says. And there were really no participants at that commissioner's hearing, so there's no opposition or dissent that I know of at this point. I should tell you that any work associated with the district extension itself will solely be borne by the developer and not the county. And this district extension is really the legal and the technical means by which we can provide sewer service to this important development in the town of DeWitt. So that's basically it, seeking that resolution to call the public hearing at the July 7th legislative session.
Frank, well, the supporting documentation talks about, I guess, parts of the parcel to be developed being within a floodplain, and then talks about certain measures, bioretention measures, and others to be implemented to address the runoff from the development. I assume there's no risk to any neighboring properties, so we're not kind of shifting, the problem over to abutting property owners, are we?
No, we are not. As is traditional with developments like this, where we go from pervious area or fields or green areas to impervious area, we control the storm water on site so that the impact to downstream properties is mitigated by the on-site development. And that is the case here as well.
Right. And if I recall correctly, I mean, actually, well, I guess my understanding of the supporting documentation is the sort of ambient noise and water runoff is actually going to be at a reduced level after the development than is the current levels, correct?
That's correct. So Casey, just to keep on task, this first resolution is just for the public hearing. What you're speaking to is probably more germane to the second piece of this, where we talk about the different impacts.
Right.
But I'm happy to talk about it. But it's it's all the same.
Right. Okay. Are there other questions or anybody have questions?
Nope.
None in terms of this is just calling for the public
Okay,
hearing.
right.
Right.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
let's move on to item number 2 then.
So item number 2, and I have Ben Yaus here with me, and I think on the line, we also have Bob Petrovich and Jeff Davis, who assisted in spearheading some of the seeker elements behind this economic development. So we have a project opportunity, and it's on this 42-acre site. It's about a 112,000 square foot warehouse e-commerce distribution facility with a whole host of building elements and site-specific elements. And so what we're asking here is for authorization of the county to move through the seeker process. So the county being WEP here, took lead agency status with respect to seeker for a couple of reasons. One, we are the agency that needs to extend the district and get approval for that. So the project is virtually dead without that. So it's important that we be lead agency and do the coordinated review. This is a type 1 action under seeker, which means that it needs to be coordinated. And there are a number of involved and interested agencies. We've worked with the developer and the developer's team to produce an EAF. That EAF is part of the supporting documentation. At this point, we have looked at the EAF and have found that we can mitigate all of the issues associated with the development itself, a couple of which you spoke to, Casey: stormwater runoff, floodway, wetlands, traffic impacts, et cetera, noise, et cetera. And we've gone through a rather extensive analysis with the developer and the developer's professional team. It's all recorded in the EAF and in the supporting documentation. And at this point, we feel like we can bring it to a negative declaration under seeker because we can mitigate those impacts sufficiently to warrant that. So I guess I will open it up to any questions. As I said, Bob, Jeff, and Ben and myself are here. I think the other main point behind this that I do want to bring up is that the developer and the developer's team is not seeking any relief or a pilot program at all. So this is kind of a pure development. There will be tax benefits to the town as a result of this. And as I said, all of the projected impacts that could be significant have been mitigated and described in the document. So I guess it's best to open up to any questions that anyone might have.
There was some discussion of, I guess, it was existing sewer infrastructure there. But I guess that hasn't really been connected to the consolidated sewer district yet. And I guess portions of that may not necessarily, or we're not sure if they're in, I guess, sufficient condition, for lack of a better phrase, I guess. But the developer is going to be covering any and all costs necessary for, I guess, bringing these sewer systems up to speed, and I guess in connection with connecting that with the, assuming that the district is expanded, which I think it will be, the developers, assuming all costs associated with connecting this project to the proposed expansion of the sewer district, correct?
That is absolutely correct, Casey. There is existing sanitary sewer infrastructure in the ground owned by the town of DeWitt. There's two pieces to that infrastructure that's in the ground. There's a gravity section and then a pump station and a force main section. So they will be, they being the developer, will work with the town of DeWitt to make sure that that infrastructure is capable of handling the flows. And we'll have to make any and all necessary repairs, replacements, whatever's needed to provide the service that the development proposes. That will all be on the back and the resources of the developer.
And I guess my understanding of the project is really the demands or the effluent that will be coming from this project is really just from the people who will be employed there, correct? I mean, it's not really any processing that's going on there that would be creating any demand on the sewer system, correct?
That's right. It's pretty benign in terms of its impact, effluent-wise. It's hundreds of jobs potentially at the site. It's a logistics warehouse facility, so it's really domestic sanitary sewage waste, no special processing or manufacturing components. It's a big subdivision if you want to look at it that way.
Right. Okay.
Residential subdivision.
Right. All right. Any questions?
Casey, I have a question, or Mr. Chairman.
All right. Kevin?
I believe it's on page 7 of 13 on the environmental assessment form. It's noted that there will be an increase in traffic. To accommodate that increase, improvements are being made to Kirkville Road, and it includes a traffic light at the intersection of Kirkville and Roberts. And I was going through the past couple of highway plans, and improvements to Kirkville Road are not listed. There were, I believe, some paving preservation projects, but nothing with curb cuts or additional lanes, and I'm sure that they're going to be needed because of this project. Do we know what the proposed costs are or anticipated timeline? Is the developer paying for that as well?
So, Kevin, great question. Traffic and traffic impacts are part of the seeker process. The developer has proposed traffic mitigation plans for Kirkville Road, including a signal and left turn and right turn lanes right in the neighborhood of Roberts Drive, which is pretty close to the site. So I can assure you that the traffic impact study encompasses all of those things that need to be done to mitigate the flows of traffic. Onondaga County DOT and New York State DOT in partnership have approved that. It will need to be done before the project is opened. That's understood. That's why we can say it won't have a significant impact. And the costs, any costs, Kevin, associated with that are borne strictly by the developer and the development team.
Thank you, Frank.
Other questions? No questions?
No.
Okay, I think we're all set, Frank. I don't think there's anything else on the agenda, is there? I don't believe.
Casey, you got to make the motion
Yeah, right, okay.
for
All right,
both of them.
all right, I'm sorry. Is there a motion we can take both resolutions, I think, together. Is there a motion to approve resolutions 1A and 1B?
I'll move it.
I'll
Who's that?
second.
All right, all in favor, just say aye.
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 Okay,
Casey,
yes,
Chairman, per open meetings, we have to let Jamie call the roll so we have an accurate accounting.
okay.
So
Thank
let
you.
her call the members out loud, please. Thank you.
Legislators Jordan,
Yeah, aye, yes.
DeSone,
Yes.
Abbott Keenan,
Yes.
Holmquist,
Yes.
Chase.
Yes.
5 ayes, none opposed.
All right, motion's carried. I believe that's it for today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Frank. And have a good day. All right,
All right,
adjourned.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.